Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. I've got a very non-bingo-y rack. Is it bad enough to change? I do have 2 vowels, but the 5 high-scoring tiles really don't go well together. I think the best I can do is vor, keeping BFP, and vor scores 19 points, 18 points rather. Tricky. I am changing. Am I? Is there a way of playing off more tiles? It's very close to playing or changing. I just don't want to keep BFP. I'm never going to bingo after that. Unless I have prefabs. I'm changing. And I'm going to keep just the E. Well, UW not great, but the rest of the rack is. And I can sort this rack out fairly easily. War and ward are both good. Sometimes after a change, opponent also changes, in which case I could get ward down. Could there be an 8 through the right floater? Possibly. Nothing has come to mind. Great, opponent has changed. So ward for 28. Fantastic. I've got the blank. Rest of the rack not so great. All bingo-y tiles, but 3 eyes. Problematic. But there are 5 vowel 8 words. So let me consider the available floaters. Not seeing anything with the W. What about the R? Retiarii is good, which is 3 eyes, but only 1 E. How about D? No, not seeing anything. So, should I change? What would be the alternatives? Iwi, creating 2 7-letter lanes. Only scoring 6 points. Well, there's going to be a ton of lanes on this board. Now, let me consider the 2-letter pairs, OR and TE. Not seeing anything there. Do I have an extension down to the double word square? No, I don't think so. I am changing. And I'll keep TE blank. Well, I draw the other blank. I have Gazette, which does play in row I. That remains available. Do I have anything better? Gazette does not get doubled. So I trail by 14. Gazette does not play in row J. It does play in row I. What about row F? Well, yes, it does. But that's not much better than row I. It just stops 1 square further to the left. So, are there any alternatives? What about TE? What about gazetted? That doesn't quite work. That's a shame. I have agatize as well. Maybe it's worth looking for another 7, which does play in row J. Just rechecking gazetted. So what about a play beginning TE? Not seeing anything. I do have the IZE ending. Let me just consider one blank, and I'm looking for a 7-letter play. Not seeing anything so far. I do have gazetted, it's just 1 square lower. Z does get doubled. Might be worth considering. I have Dzigatai, with the blank as an I, down from the D, getting the Z doubled. That's sticking an I in the middle of row O, so reluctant to do that. Gosh, that looks close. Not seeing anything. Zigony and teasing. Ah, well, teasing goes. Wow, that exercise was worthwhile. I have teasing in row J. 15 minutes on my clock. That looked close. That's teasing and zigony. Again. That's gazette. Outgaze. Okay, so let me get this down before opponent runs away. Teasing. Why isn't that working? I have the Z. Let me just put this back on my rack. I certainly do have this play. Teazing for 87. Well, a non-bingo rack, but I have a decent lead now, and both blanks have gone. So what to do here? I have the I, which goes with the Q, and the S. So I have cheese in row F. Wet takes an A. It may be worth my while playing off the V and the M. I could play Vim and Moo. Still 3 U's to come. And that would take out a hotspot and not create anything. But is there somewhere better for, or somewhere I can play my Q, somewhere better than row F? Well, I have the same problem in row K. I need to burn the S, cheese and wets. Teasing does not take an S. What about an alternative to Vim? Only my S can go after Axe. So the best I could do in row K is SMA. 47 points. Wow. Big score. Keeping QV, so not great. But that is a big score. 25 for Vim. I'm still minded to prefer that. Wow. I can't play that anymore. Opponent has bingoed. Nice bingo. 67 points. Doughty's doesn't take anything. Q not available. The I is available for my Q, but I can't get it to play twice. What about playing SMA? Doesn't feel great. Door takes an O in front. I could play Vims in column 13, 18 points. So 47 points, keeping the dreaded QV combo, but every rack leave has its price, and smart is a huge score. Can I extend this? No, I have nothing which goes under the I. Now, do I have anything AS? ASIE. Don't think Maisie is good. I could play Vase in this spot. 45 points. I think this is better. QV is particularly shocking. So I think this is a better play. Just wondering about Maisie, but which would be better. I'm going with this. The I helps the Q. And I have an O for Oda. Still no way of getting the Q to play twice. So I can play Moo in row E. If I play the Q, I'm not going to be able to play off either of the O's. So since I'm a long way from a bingo, I may be better off keeping the Q for one more turn. So do I have mood somewhere? Well, not in row E. Wheater only takes an S. Axes takes nothing. Not seeing anything great. Moo E is good, but the I certainly helps the Q, even if I can't play it in row E. I guess playing just the Q might be worth doing. Rackleave isn't terrible, and I am ridding myself of a problem tile. Now, opponent gets 22 for flaxes. Sorry, he doesn't get 22, he gets 20 for flaxes. There's a front extension of seed for flaxes. I don't have that. What about playing Q? Well, I've got the I for next turn playing in column 12. This isn't the worst rackleave in the world, and I am dumping a problem tile. Just checking that I can't play in column 9, QU something D, and I can't. Is there any A for caddy? No. I'm going with this. And I draw another vowel, which is probably the worst thing I could have done, but this rack is still tractable. I could play Modi in column 4, keeping EO. Not great, but certainly a lot better than changing, and a decent way of sorting the rack out, and potentially I could have a bingo next go. I still have a lead. I've played this opponent before. He's very good. I think his rating belies his strengths. Now, do I have an alternative to Modi? Just looking at the S in case I have a bingo through that, and I don't think I do. AE takes nothing after it, so Vase has killed row L as a bingo lane, as well as the Z. Now, column 8 available for 8-letter plays ending 8. Not seeing one with this rack. Now, opponent's played O. Interesting, he's created a new spot for Modi. Do I have anything beginning with an O which places D or M on the double letter square? I thought I did see one momentarily with the D. I'm not seeing it now. In any event, I think this is likely to score more. Modi for 31. Fantastic. I keep EO, and I've drawn really well. I have Ethiops and Ophites. Does either play? Probably not. Quite a non-bingo-y board at the moment, but I trail, I lead, so opponent may open a bingo lane. What about row K? Ethiops definitely doesn't play. Ophites also doesn't. Are there any lanes I haven't considered? Well, what about floating I? No, not seeing anything there. How about D? No. Wow, great bingo for opponent. 80 points. Goes into the lead. Liegeman does not take an S. But I do now have a couple of new floaters. M and N. So this rack plus an M, I have the ism ending. The time ending. Shop time not good. Ship time is. Wow, I feel there could be one with the M. Just not seeing it. So how about the N? Siphonet and Phoniest. Neither works. What a shame. Could there be a bingo with the A? No, so what to do? I'm suddenly not in a great position. We're pretty much level. I have a bingo on my rack, nowhere to play it. But am I overlooking a bingo? Does shop time have an anagram? I have the epi prefix. No, just not seeing anything. I have photism, but that doesn't use the E. So what about a play in column 15? I'm going to struggle to play my P unless it's in last place. So I could play hop, keeping sight. Nice. 31 points, decent score, very good rack leave, albeit on a very non-bingo-y board, so that substantially reduces its value. But hop is likely to invite a play in column 13. Maybe that will create a new lane in row O. Possibly not if it's just a 3-letter play. But can I do any better than this? The M is nagging away at me. I feel there could be a bingo with that. So I have Mephisto, and maybe that's why I'm feeling there's a bingo here. Mephisto isn't good. It's got a capital M. Shop time I don't think is good. Now, have I overlooked a lane? I have. Column 12, OS. Not seeing anything. So it was O fights. Definitely no lanes top left. And Ethiops. No, not seeing anything. Only 8 minutes on my clock. I am going with hop. Great, I have scoring tiles, which on a non-bingo-y board are welcome. I have an I for going next to the Q. Not seeing anything great there. I am expecting opponent to go in column 13. If he doesn't, well, not a huge amount I can do. My B can go next to AH, but I'm struggling to see how to get it to score twice. Now, I have Bice in column 4. That's quite nice. Getting value from the B, C, and F. That'll be a 20-point play. I lead by 20. So this could be a cagey conclusion to the game. Neither of us likely to bingo with the board as it stands, although the M is still available. That will be pretty brutal if opponent has a bingo onto that. And note hop takes an S, so a play could end EMS. Now, opponent has played there for 41 points. He had 2 scoring tiles. That's probably the worst that could happen to me in that spot. Par takes an O, 4 O's to come. Okay, so I can't really do anything down here. I don't have anything which goes in front of EM. So this is what I was thinking of. Bice creating a couple of new bingo floaters. 21 points, keeping me in the game. I am a tempo behind, which means that after my play will be level and opponent's on turn. So opponent having the tempo means he has the advantage. Okay, Am I going with this? Is there really nothing better? Now, I play down from the I. Possibly Ibises. 30 points, but burning the S. Well, that's an equivalent play to the one I'm considering. Can't see anything ending 8. 6 minutes on my clock. I'm going with Bice. Okay, well, I'm not seeing anything through B or I. I have a good scoring tile in the K. Gem is good. So I have Keg in column 12, should that remain available. No 7-letter bingo with this rack. Now, great, only 14 points for opponent. He's shutting down bingo lanes. But leaving keg alone, not only does this score well, 34 points, but the rack leave is good. And opponent can't continue short plays in the bottom right of the board. Gem takes nothing in front, I takes nothing in front. So he's going to have to do something different. Probably for a low score. I trail by 10, so I'll lead by 20, which means the tempo comes back to me. An opponent has actually created a new lane in column 2, which my K could have taken advantage of because of Koi and Cob. So this is undoubtedly a better play. Well, all 1 point tiles. No 7-letter bingo here. What a close game. Still 23 tiles in the bag and only 5 minutes on my clock. Really tight board. Column 8 is a possibility onto this triple word square, but that's going to provide 3 floaters. I could have an 8-letter play through the right floater, not seeing any at the moment. So what am I going to do? Well, priority is to play off R and U. So do I have anything ending IE? Or EI and U rei? Don't have the tiles in the right order. Well, no, I don't. Nothing through OB. Quite a useful prefix. Great, just 8 points. So, what about playing tie? Still 1 S to come. I've got an S, but opponent could have the other one. Tie would set up a bingo lane. I don't need a bingo. I lead. Now, I need to be mindful of the time. And I also need to play off the U and the R. Gosh, what to do? Where can I do that? I can do this for a tiny score. And U8 takes an A front hook, so that's a rubbish play, I think. Where can I play U and R without setting up anything? Tricky. And I'm also going to struggle to score. Just coming back to the Q spot. Nope, not seeing anything there. What about down from the V? Not seeing anything. Let me check the remaining vowels. 8 out of 27, very few vowels. So how about playing ruts down here for 8? I'm going with this. Okay, so ruts does take a B in front, which I've fortuitously drawn. My lead only 20 points, but I've got 2 scoring tiles, which is really good. Wow, I hadn't realised I was setting up a spot for the Q, but only 22 points for opponent, 2 points between us, and 3 minutes on my clock. So I have Ross Biff. Let me see what that scores. 33 points, setting up 2 hotspots. Quite tempting given that I'm short on time. What else could I do? How reckless is this? Well, it's setting up 2 spots. I'm so short on time, I am going with this. Pretty grim, but the remaining vowel's not great. Opponent could be struggling. He'll need a vowel to go in front of the R. That probably wasn't a great play. I missed fibro in that spot. Ouch. Okay, that would have retained the F, but put a vowel under this triple word square, so not massively better. I don't have anything top right. Oh, wow, brutal. Absolutely brutal. Opponent had a perfect rack. Look at the remaining tiles, the tiles in the bag. Horrendous, but he probably doesn't care now because he's got a decent lead and there's nothing I can do about it. 2 minutes on my clock. 2 tiles in the bag. Are there any lanes? I don't think so. I think this game is gone. So I need to hang on to my... Well, do I? What about playing Lani? NR, I'll probably draw an I, 20 points. I'm not going to bingo, so there was literally no point in trying to get a bingo. Lani not good, why not? Okay, thought that was good. 1 minute on my clock. Must be EY that it ends. Do I have anything top right? Nothing better than... Well, there is nothing. So what about playing just NY? That doesn't feel great. Yeah, I am going to play it, though I'm short on time. Maybe there was a way I could have set up a lane. I could have played Vly, setting up a floating Y. Well, I'm not seeing a bingo with this rack. What's opponent done? HI. Okay, so how can I go out into 1 minute on my clock? Do I have anything beginning OB? No, I don't. $40 left. Okay, I'm going to play Verl. Hope that doesn't set up anything massive for opponent. It gives me a chance of going out with Rant. So I have Intra in column 8. Do I have a second out? Well, opponents, I don't think, can block that. I don't have anything through R and L. What about through OI? Not seeing anything. Nothing down from AG. 20 seconds on my clock. 10 minutes on opponent's clock. Just wondering if opponent can block Intra by playing through R and L, and I don't think he can. And takes an E, but nothing I've got. I have Ran and Knob, which doesn't go out, but at least is a scoring option, should my out be blocked. Wow, what a game. Scanted, absolute hammer blow. Now, opponents played Viney, 20 seconds on my clock. And I have Intra for 5. And the final score, 394 for me, 431 for my opponent. A winning margin of 37 points, so well done to my opponent. Let's see what I missed. What a game. How big a mistake was roast beef. So it was me to go first. I changed. Vor was the option, but this rack leave is pretty horrible. Opponent's rack also changes. Could have played Cox. And now I have Ward for 28. So that felt like a half-decent start to the game. Opponent plays Oot. Now I think I changed again and 16 points keeping triple I. Pretty grim. So I'm happy with changing. Opponent plays Wex. And now I played Teasing for 87 and that was best. I spent a while looking for options and that was time well spent. Now, great rack for opponent, has Doughties. And I have a 6-point lead. And play Vase for 45, and I still like that. It splits, although it's 2 points less than Smart, it splits up Q and V, so definitely worth doing. Opponent's rack plays Flaxes. And now Mood, E11. Okay, running across the top of Doughties for 28, keeping the Q. I get 6 fewer points, but I dump the Q, and the rack leave isn't terrible, so I like that play. Opponent's rack plays O. And now Modi, one of 3 available, and EO is the best of the 3 rack leaves. Now look at this, fantastic bingo for opponent. 80 points with Liege Man. And here we go. I have a super rack and I couldn't see a bingo. And there was none. K13, Hope. Interesting. Down column 13. 37 points might have been worth doing since I had the S. But Hop for 31. I'm in the lead, so I think Hop probably a better play. Opponent plays Yep. And now I trail by 20, but on a tight board, it means we're jolly close. And now just 4 points between us. Horrible rack for opponent, plays Oo. And I have the K and I play Keg. So I felt in decent shape now. I felt that the tempo I had regained it, and opponent's not got a great rack. He plays Loin. And I lead by 17 with this rack. Try C12. Yeah, taking advantage of the Q, preserving 2 vowels. What do? I play Ruts, setting up an A spot for the Q. And try would have been 10 more points, so definitely would have been a better play. So opponent plays NAE, and here we go. I have Rosbiff for 48. Wow, Rosbiff for 48 in column 2. What do? I play it for 33 over to the right. Well, I think there are a couple of better plays. There's by 4-8 in column 8 for 42, keeping A and S, and Rosbiff in column 2, which sets up row A and column 1 and scores well, so definitely better plays available. And look at this, just the one bingo for opponent, but it's all he needs, and he's now got a 50-point lead. So I struggled here, only 2 tiles in the bag, varies pretty horrible. So what do? I play Nye for 15, and Velai was the other option, but keeping double N, double R, I don't like that. Now, opponent's rack plays High. And, well, AI certainly not the best play with this horror show rack leave. So I play Verl for 14, which isn't a million miles away from the top scores, and gives me the option of going out. Opponent plays Viney, and now I play Intra for 5, but N3. Land was available. Wow, that's tricky. And D1, Aroint through OI, so I did have options for 2 more points. and that was the end of the game. So, what a game. Super tight, very few bingo lanes, and then everything coming down to one critical move. I played Rosbif fairly quickly because I was short on time. I think I had 3 minutes left and there were about 15 to 20 tiles left. But there were better plays available in by 4-8 and Rosbif in column 2, and either of those could have made a significant difference to the game. But with opponents sitting there with Scanted on his rack, I think he is likely to have bingoed regardless of which of those three plays I made. And I think the remaining tiles were so non-bingo-y that even if there were available bingo lanes, I think it would be extremely unlikely that I would have bingoed. So I don't think that play altered the outcome of the game given opponent's rack. But if you ignore opponent's rack, which you should do since you don't know what it is, then Rosbif's certainly an inferior play. Anyway, many congratulations to my opponent on his victory. I hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.